anyone new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well as hit that notification. You already know, notification gang. Let's get it.
No, it's levels to it. You and I know, bitch. Be humble. Bitch. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch. Sit down. Be humble.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Danger. We're back with another video. I want to talk about Destiny 2. Now, yesterday they did showcase like the whole gameplay reveal and official trailer reveal, and I was extremely impressed. I was really digging all the gameplay, all the features that were introduced to the game. But because of that, that doesn't mean I'm going to stray away from what I find an issue with this whole Destiny 2 reveal and just everything that was announced. Now, yes, they did showcase a lot of gameplay, a lot of information that I sunk in yesterday. I'm not going to react to any of it because I've already watched all the content, but gathering all the information as far from the story and all the available abilities and characters and just all the stuff that's going to be given to us day one, I'm not convinced that this is a brand new Destiny game. Obviously it is, but this is more so of the biggest expansion that Destiny could have just gotten in a patch or an update. Now let me just break down the story just briefly, and then I'm actually going to transition into the features and why I feel like this is more so of an expansion than an actual new game itself. So the city is taken under control of Ghaul, which is the commander of the Brutal Force, and it is your job alongside your friends to destroy the threat and reclaim home. You know, that's the gist of it, whatever. But it's the features and everything that was introduced in the game alongside even the story that led me to believe, like, okay, I get there's going to be a lot of action and gameplay, which is going to be marvelous just by this, because it's more of a fight to build back and take back what's ours than to protect it from actually happening. So I actually like that aspect. And they actually said there's going to be a lot of cutscenes in this game too, so it's going to be very immersive alongside your friends in co-op, which I actually like a lot. But they added new weapons, they added new gear. They still have the same classes. As far as I'm concerned, they didn't announce new classes like Titans, Hunters, and Warlocks. They've actually kept those, and they added super abilities. So why the hell can you not transfer your full character with his gear, armor, light level, and everything? Because that's still in the same game. It's still in Destiny 2, but just different gear, different armor, different abilities. Well, super abilities, but the original abilities are there, but they've added now super abilities. Why couldn't you just transfer the same thing with your character over? They're only allowing you to transfer your character. Maybe they might reward you with something, but the reason why I say that is because to make it seem like it's not an expansion or whatnot, they basically gonna start you from zero again, and you're gonna have to rebuild that character. Now, with all the content introduced in the game, I feel, and this is just my opinion, you can disagree all you want in the comments, I don't mind. They could have just brought you over with whatever light level you were, and with the way they construct the multiplayer and the modes and the single player and whatnot, allow the level to compensate for your level, and the difficulty can work out to your advantage. So if you are at a high ass level, off the gate you're going to go up against enemies who are going to be at your difficulty level. Now that can be designed. Bungie can make that work, and I understand there's going to be new people introduced to the player base of Destiny. I understand that, and I respect that too. But what they could have done was transition different ways to introduce their leveling system as well. Just like when I got into the game, I remember Prof and iPod and everybody else, they got me at a higher level, doing a raid with me or doing a certain level with me because I was such a low light level. They've helped me out. So why not be the same pacing? You know what I'm getting? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I'm playing a certain level, I understand enemies are going to be difficult, but how they could have worked the multiplayer could have been at an advantage to where when we jump from the first game to the next one, it would have still been at least a more balanced pace. That's just my opinion. With all the features that they did announce, I feel like this was actually possible. But no, they decided not to do that. They could have also resetted our level, but allow all our weapons and gear to transfer over. As far as I'm concerned, they didn't announce that. What they said was your just character will be able to transfer over. They didn't say everything you've earned with this character. They will have the existing planets, but they will be introducing more. There's not only patrols in the game, but they've added a ton of other stuff that you can do just wandering around in these worlds so that you can gather loots, different side quests, different missions. Now you don't no longer have to go to the orbit to go to different planets, but you can now travel from planet to planet, which I think was cool as well. The thing is, this can be introduced in an update. These aren't groundbreaking. These aren't groundbreaking features in a game. The fact that you said, listen, we've added new features in the world. There's not only patrols, but there's much more to gather from that. Side quests, side missions, you can help out one of those or whatever. You can find different items and loot and earn different stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world. That can be added in an update, in an expansion, or a big ass patch. I don't feel like that's something groundbreaking. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I got gas too when they said it. But when you look back and you read everything after the honeymoon hype, whatever, you realize that that could have just been introduced as an expansion or an update. Now with the matchmaking, I thought the most important thing for me, which I was really happy about, was the introduction to how much emphasis and depth they putting into clans and just the community. So they have this customization with clans. You can actually revamp the logos of clans, little banners and stuff like that with the clans. But where it gets good is the fact that you get to really promote your clan out there. For those who don't really have anybody to play with, when you want to do raids, oftentimes, you know, you don't have enough people to raid with or play certain missions with. So therefore, now with this clan system that they introduced, you can now find somebody. Now I don't know how much depth it is. Maybe they're looking, maybe it allows us to find people with the same light level or whatnot as you, so that you don't go up against like, or have like a noob join your clan. But I still think that's dope as hell, because that's gonna broaden the community, is gonna make Destiny more playable, is gonna keep the Destiny player base going, well, growing constantly. This allows people to keep engaging with one another, which I find is to be the most important feature in Destiny 2. But once again, that could have been an update or a feature added into the game. I mean, they call it guided games, which is connected to the whole clan system if you're trying to find somebody to play with, which I think is a really dope ass concept and something clever to come up with to keep the whole game, the player base, engaging with one another. Now Destiny 2 will have a competitive multiplayer, which has been revamped down to 4v4, which I have no problem with that at all. I understand there's a lot of casual players, but putting a system like this will allow casual players to still try to play at a high competitive level. I know they're going to probably revamp a lot of the map structures to compensate for the 4v4 aspect as well. I'm questioning, are they going to eliminate some of the gameplay modes, or are they just going to balance them out? I don't know. We do know there's a new mode called Countdown, which looks kind of interesting, and I'm hoping to see some gameplay on it. Just how they were actually explaining it sounds very fun. I don't mind the competitive aspect of this game at all. I've always looked at it to be a competitive game, not really of a casual type game, especially with the new strikes, raids that they're adding to the game for co-op. There's a lot of new features. Now just saying about raids, basically with this whole clan system, guided games and whatnot, it's going to allow raids to open up to a wide audience of people who weren't able to play raids before on Destiny 1. Now the reason why I feel some type of way about all this, and I keep saying shit like it could have been an update or a patch or an expansion, is because I was an early adopter of Destiny. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people who did play Destiny year one, day one, the original Destiny game that we got kind of dry fast. You know, the lack of content that was in that game, especially when you leveled up and you got the same weapons but at a different level. There was a lack of content in that game. It took me to get off that game. I got back during the Taken King, and then I left that shit again because I feel like it got dry again. Now, I remember my boys complaining like, man, that game got mad dry. I remember my boy Prophecy even said it too. There was a drought at one point with that game. It got super dry. But I guess when the new raids came out and some new expansions came out, it definitely brought back life to Destiny. I feel like this is actually what Destiny needed. They needed this type of update, patch, or whatnot, or expansion to then regain that life, whatever, for Destiny. That's why I feel some type of way, and I feel like all this that's introduced to the second one doesn't feel as innovative or new, other than the community part of the game. Everything as far as the gameplay features, the unlockables, all the gear and stuff, seems like that could have just been added as an extra for Destiny 1. The community part could have been, okay, give or take, you know, that's a new game, whatever, they're gonna add that. But that could have also been an expansion, something given to the early adopters of Destiny 1. That's why I feel like it's a little bit cheesy for me that they just released some type of expansion a while back, and all of a sudden Destiny 2 was leaked and then announced. So I feel like this was basically a reskin of Destiny 1. That's just really how I feel. Now, am I gonna get it? I ain't even gonna hold you up. I'm gonna spend the 60. That's why I'm like, I'm entitled to speak on this game, because I'm gonna support the game anyways. I'm just giving you guys my personal thoughts and my feelings towards this game, because I feel like a lot of people got burned out of their money. Remember, even Bungie tried to G people with that whole expansion being 40 when they said if you pre-order, you was only gonna get it for 20. They were trying to pull a lot of shit out their ass. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like they're really trying to innovate and expand this game to a larger player base, and I have no problem with that, because what you want is to engage in players every second of this game, and I love the community aspect of it. But I feel like they shitted on a lot of people in the first Destiny, and I feel like where we're gonna really get our fun is in Destiny 2. So I mean, it is what it is. But if you are gonna buy this game, let me know in the comments below. I'm thinking about creating a clan myself. Unfortunately though, there's no official release date on the PC, as I just found out, because I thought day one the PC was coming out. And just to mention, the PC version will be running in collaboration, well, in partnership with Blizzard's client. So I'm pretty excited about that, because Blizzard's client is very stable, especially when you play Overwatch. So I have no problem with that. But there's no actual release date. They do have a lot of features to run at 4K, in which the PS4 Pro will be running at 4K, but it might be 4K 30. There's no confirmation with 4K 60. Actually, the developer spoke out and said there's no 60 frames on the Destiny 2 on PS4. The Scorpio, though, there's no information given yet. I'm pretty sure it could hit that 60 on the Scorpio. But as far as the PS4 Pro, is running at 4K 30. They said they don't have enough horsepower to run this game at a full 60 frames on the PS4 or PS4 Pro. But it is what it is because the game was smooth anyways. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you feel different about how I felt towards Destiny, you can leave it in the comments below. I know a lot of passionate as Destiny players. There's no problem with that at all. I'm just feeling salty because I was an early adopter. I'm admitting it. It is what it is. But I'm still going to support this game and get it day one. I do have beta code, so if you do want a beta code, make sure you like this video. Let me know on Twitter or maybe Instagram DM that you want a beta code. I have a bunch of them. I pre-ordered a bunch of them shits. But make sure you guys keep in contact with me. It's your boy 3MG. Like this video, and I'm out. Peace.
I told you, the weather's cold, we're getting older. Things even change when it gets colder. But we'll move on just like I'm always. I know you miss the sun and skies on the summer. Those were the days we stayed.